Our first and only informational item this evening is summer school. We did get to review this in planning, and I must say, this is not your grandpa's summer school program. So, Ms. Dickinson-Kelly, if you and your team would like to kick it off?
If I may, Trustee.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Sure. As you know, we have multiple and rich opportunities for pre-K-12 students throughout the summer that truly result in a year-round educational experience. We typically bring a preview of these programs to the board each spring, although the weather may have us believe we will never see summer. We have hope and have planned for this eventuality. Ms. Dickinson-Kelly and her team are here this evening to share a brief update for the trustees and the public. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Comsa. We certainly appreciate this opportunity, and thank you, trustees, for continuing to support our summer programming adventures, to be honest with you. As I was walking up, one of the team members sitting behind me said, boy, that's a hard act to follow after those three outstanding students that began our meeting this evening. Couldn't agree more. As all of you know, that our mission, our summer school mission, is actually threefold. We first and foremost try to prevent summer slide or summer regression, because we too want our students to start the fall in the most successful manner and frankly optimistic about their future. We also want to make sure that we give our students an opportunity to recoup or gain back credit that may have been lost during the school year. And for some students, they take advantage of our summer programming in order to advance or accelerate their learning. Before we launch into the PowerPoint that we've prepared for this evening, I'd like to introduce the leadership team that came this evening and thank them for taking a few hours out of their Wednesday night. We have not expanded the budgetary allocation for leadership or supervision for summer school, but we're sharing it differently this year. Two of our leaders are going to be presenting at the National IB Conference in San Diego, very prestigious, and so we sort of have to negotiate around those obligations. We also are mindful that we are always planning forward, so we want to strengthen our bench. So as we perhaps look at transitions in the future, we have people already familiar with the oversight of summer school. So folks, just wave or stand as you see or feel motivated. First and foremost, Marcus Edmondson, principal at Huron High School. Kevin Hudson, principal at Pioneer. Michael Somerton, also principal at Huron High School. Sarah Andrew Vaughn, our English Language Arts District Curriculum Coordinator. Daniel Hilliard, our 9th grade dean at Pioneer High School. If he just walked in the door, Anthony Lauer, who oversees online and 8-2 virtual, joins us in the summer. Tom Pachera, our PLTW coordinator. Erica Hatt, our elementary English Language Arts and Social Studies curriculum coordinator. Anne Marie Turner, Nicole Turner, who is our secondary math coordinator. Kay Wade, secondary social studies curriculum coordinator. And new to our team is Heather Halliboo, and Heather is a teacher at Angel Elementary School, previously with Trustee Manley, when Trustee Manley was principal at Thurston. And Heather, thanks for joining this team. So let's get started. As I said, we're going to sort of look back at our accomplishments last summer and then preview enhancements coming up for this summer. Last summer, 400 students attended our SLI, 156 in session 1 and 156 in session 2. We try to manage those numbers in order to make sure that the teacher-student ratio is 1 to 13 in the classrooms. 88 students attended our 2-week Fractions Academy. At the secondary level, 90 middle school students attended, 32 incoming 9th graders participated in our Academic Youth Development Program, which was the first year for that program. We had outstanding results from that particular training and opportunity. 700 students earned high school credit in 2017. Of those 700 students, 354 students earned credit on site, 314 online, and 32 students earned credit through the community resource options opportunity, and that's where our students negotiate sort of an independent study supervised by a university instructor and coordinated by a staff person at community high school. More specifically, we're going to look at the elementary program. At our Westerman Preschool and Family Center this coming year, July 2nd through the 22nd, we will have the extended school year, which is typical of our special education program opportunities. And we will also newly implement a kindergarten transition program. We heard from both faculty and families that they would like to have an opportunity for our kindergartners that currently attend the preschool program to sort of practice kindergarten, to become more familiar with some of the routines. So this is a new program that we're going to put in place this year. At King Elementary School, from July 2nd through the 27th, we will also have ESY, or Extended School Year Programming. And in addition to that, we will host a Project Read program for students that are currently sort of functionally reading about 2 years below grade level. So we really want to emphasize and strengthen that opportunity to catch kids up who are already receiving TC or resource room support. As you know, our Summer Learning Institute, or our elementary summer school, we, over the last couple years, have divided that summer school opportunity into 2 sessions. We believe that that is more family-friendly, so families can work around, participate in our summer school opportunity, and at the same time work in some away time as a family unit and vacation time. So session 1 will run between July 9th through July 20th for 2 weeks. The focus, again, is on literacy and mathematics for students that are currently in grades 1 and 2. Students are invited into that program, and these are students that have been identified by our elementary principals and instructional staff as needing just a little bit of a boost over the summer. In session 2, from July 23rd to August 3rd, again, a 2-week session, we will run the SLI, Summer Learning Institute, for grades 1 and 2. And concurrently, we will run a 2-week program called Fractions Academy for students in grade 3. In grade 3 is where students begin to have a more fundamental understanding of fractions as a precursor to getting ready for pre-algebra and success and sort of the algebraic scope and sequence. Before each session, we host a family orientation, and if families have any questions right now, they should contact their building principal or go on our district website for contact information. What has been particularly successful in enduring as part of the SLI practices is the Fractions Academy. Very popular. We're running it for the 2nd year, and we're trying to expand the seats currently available to that programmatic opportunity. Learning for All, it's a highly engaged program. We have taken the time to sort of think about application of learning, so there are projects that are integrated into the summer. And obviously, a great use of technology, which is an exciting part of the learning, the rotational learning labs that we have. And we are always sort of mindful that we have a community that is wealthy in partnerships and extended learning, so we invite in those partnerships or representatives from the partnerships. A little bit more about the Fractions Academy. Again, as I said earlier, this is for current 3rd graders. It's a 1-2-week academy running between, we'll host it between July 23rd and August 3rd. We specifically are focusing on fractions, as parts of whole, equivalent fractions, fractional representation, all those sort of fundamental, significant understandings that kids need to have in order to be more successful in fourth grade and fifth grade, and then progressively into pre-algebra and algebra. I should also mention that Project Lead the Way is integrated into that 2-week academy, and this year the theme of the Project Lead the Way module is the science of flight. And thanks to Tom Pachera, this is a highly engaged and very popular component of our Fractions Academy. On the earlier slide, I mentioned that it is learning for all. It is not called the Summer Learning Institution or the Institute for no good reason, because it is in fact learning for adults as well as for students. We have a long-standing partnership with the University of Michigan, the LMAC program, and because of their participation, we're able to offer a very low student-teacher ratio. It is also the opportunity for us to get to know potential recruiting new hires. The LMAC students are often our student teachers in our classroom the following year. And again, it is a very rich, mutually beneficial exchange between the University of Michigan and the Ann Arbor Public Schools. I mentioned earlier that we take advantage of project-based learning. We find that when we can integrate these projects, various projects into our summer program, it enhances the relevancy of learning. Students understand why they're learning math and why it's important to expand their understanding of literacy in the content area as well as just in the narrative text. So we very deliberately use texts from science and social studies as well as language arts. Last summer in 2017, our theme during the project time was plant structure and connecting to how citizens can help others who live in food deserts. This year, our theme is understanding birds of prey and connecting to how citizens can take action to help injured animals. We really try to promote through our writing the opportunity for kids to advocate for socially aware and social conscious endeavors and priorities. We've included on this website 2 incredibly entertaining videos, but in the interest of time, I'm not going to click on them tonight, but I would encourage the trustees to watch them. They're really delightful. You know, we're really privileged here in Ann Arbor to have a wealth of technologies, and we take full advantage of them and infuse not only the hardware, but opportunities with advanced software into our summer programming, and kids are that much more motivated when we do that. This year in our rotational model, which simply means that we set up stations so that kids can rotate and have multiple opportunities during the instructional day, because our summer school is in fact all day. We are this year taking advantage of our Lexia licenses in mathematics called Connect Ed. And we will make sure that there are iPads and MacBooks and e-beams and sound fields and all kinds of progressive hardware in all of our classrooms. So I mentioned earlier that we have community partnerships, and we are, again, very fortunate to expand our connections into the Ann Arbor community and appreciate their participation. We have foster grandparents. The district library comes at least once each summer or each session during the summer to give away books. We have high school and college volunteers that help us, and without their help, I'm not sure that we would run as smoothly as we currently do. And certainly our Leslie Science Center enriches all of our sessions with visits with critters. I know the trustees are typically interested in participation rates, and so we brought you sort of a look at the last 3 years. we continue to include more and more students. Our participation rate in 2016 and 17 has exceeded 95%. I think largely because we have organized our summer learning in 2-week increments where families can actually choose between. They don't have to choose vacation or participation in our summer programs, but they can actually do both. This year, I'm very pleased to announce that we are adding a new childcare option. So at the end of the summer school program every day, students can stay in childcare, which helps our families that work. This year, we anticipate similar numbers to 2017. We have invited 400 students in total to participate in the elementary SLI program. We're expanding the seats in our Fractions Academy. We think right now about 110 to 115 students will join us for the Fractions Academy for 3rd grade. So some of our challenges that we continue with this good team behind me to sort of wrestle with is that we continue to look for ways to support students who struggle or may decline in academic achievement during the year. And we believe by sort of supporting year-round schooling that schooling takes on sort of a more positive and optimistic place in their experience. We have a limited number of seats at the Fractions Academy, and what I failed to mention earlier in the presentation is all of these elementary sessions are at our Allen Elementary School, and we will benefit and take advantage of the air conditioning in that site. So thank you, trustees, for supporting that through our facilities work. And we continue to look for opportunities to leverage new instructional rounds, and that is sort of an occasion where staff people can visit each other and learn from each other and do some cooperative and teaming. Our next steps this year is that we're working on class lists. Thanks to Durham, we are constructing our bus routes, which is no small challenge when transporting kids throughout the entire district to one location. We are scheduling our family information night, which will occur on May 30th, again at Allen Elementary School. We do a series of professional development opportunities and training prior to beginning our summer school so that staff meet each other. They're better positioned to do collaborative work and the teaming around our projects. And certainly we want to coordinate to make sure that the instruction that occurs over the 10 days of each session is high quality and aligned with our most significant standards. We build connections with our community centers. We have 7 community centers throughout our area that we have built, I think, a very close relationship with, and we exchange both feedback and opportunities to enhance each other's work over the summer. And as I just mentioned, we're establishing childcare for aftercare in our elementary sessions, which I'm really pleased about this year. I think that's going to help our working families. So now on to middle school and academic youth development and high school, and I'm going to turn over the presentation to Sarah Andrew Vaughn. Thank you, trustees.
Good evening, trustees. We are looking forward to a busy summer at Pioneer, where we will host school sessions for both middle and high school. We envision summer school as part of our suite of literacy interventions and math interventions, and so we have decided to have a priority enrollment period for students who need a boost in the middle school. And after that priority enrollment period will continue from now until the 15th of May. And after the 15th of May, we want to be sure our program is fully enrolled. And so we will open the enrollment to any Ann Arbor Public Schools enrolled student so that we have a robust program this summer. We are so glad to tell you that we will be offering transportation, breakfast, lunch, and free tuition to the middle school programs. That feels wonderful. In previous years, we've had more traditional summer school course offerings. This year, we've redesigned the summer school offerings into 2 10-day camps. We learned from elementary that that works well. This allows for greater connection of applied learning while increasing motivation and engagement that will carry them into the rest of the summer. ELA Camp is an opportunity to launch students' summer reading. We will use this time together to develop our identities as readers and writers and work with our media specialists to identify books we love so that when our students leave summer camp, they have ideas for what they will read for the rest of the summer. Our teachers have hand-picked math and Project Lead the Way engineering lessons that match up with the math curriculum, and we will have students develop a mindset for problem solving at math camp. We know that when students give up on a problem after 30 seconds, they're not likely to learn that math. But when we teach them and successfully dig it back in together and build those habits, we have a better shot at engagement and understanding. Dreambox is an online platform for individualized math practice. Last year, we shared our Dreambox licenses with our community centers, and we are so pleased to report to you that our students logged 39,000 minutes of practice on Dreambox at the community centers alone. So, of course, we're keeping this partnership going. The Academic Youth Development Program will again be at Eastern Michigan University, and we look forward to this continued partnership. AYD is a national program emerging from psychology and other learning sciences. AYD is designed to reshape students' academic identities, enhance their engagement in learning, and increase the number and diversity of students who feel successful in math and STEAM courses. High school summer school will be hosted at Pioneer. Now, we will have both the middle and the high school at Pioneer, but in order to make sure that both programs feel like their own program, we have taken care to house the students for the high school on the floor 2D at Pioneer, and the middle school students will be on floor 1C to allow students to feel their own sense of space and also to have their own entrances at Pioneer High School. Our enrollment, again, we like to share these numbers from 2017. You can see was divided between high school and the blended online opportunity. And some courses, for example, the Health and PE blended course is very attractive in the online blended environment. And other courses we love to take on site with our teachers. The great news is that every course, blended online or high school or community resource, has an adult connected to our students. We are always aware of increasing relevance in our summer math courses, so students find a greater incentive for doing well in the following school year. Desmos is an app that allows students to turn any phone into a graphing calculator. Right? 3-act videos are a very cool process. This picture here is a picture from a 3-act video in which students are making predictions and investigations about pennies that are inside that pyramid. We are keen to ensure that all students stay on track to graduate. So if a student fails Algebra 1 or Geometry, the summer school fee is waived. This year, we're making a concerted effort to make sure this waiver is better understood through counselors, information nights, and our community centers. The image in the upper right corner here is it from Desmos, that awesome calculator, and it's an activity about the slope of a line. You'll remember that last summer we redesigned our approach to English, and we are now using student performance during the school year to set up a course for them during summer school. We want to build relevant courses that develop the skills our students need to be successful in the next year. So during the 5 weeks of summer school, we take care to meet kids where they are and then scaffold them forward on those areas of our curriculum that they did not perform as well during the school year. This gives us an opportunity to practice standards-based teaching and grading in the summer. And can I pass it back? Okay.
We just have a few more slides and then we'll take questions. I might also add that in our menu of offerings for the high school program this year, we are including African American Humanities as part of the offering. So again, we're listening closely to our students and to our families and trying to enhance what we offer to meet the needs and the interests. So as always, we offer a summer online blended learning opportunity. Anthony Laura usually oversees this program. It runs concurrently with our other high school program and is popular with many, many students, as you saw by from the participation statistics. Some of our challenges, again, we want to make sure that we ensure students are recovering from credit for graduation. I think we are doing that and successfully had many more students earn credit and achieve their 4-year graduation by participating in last year's summer school program. Sometimes our students aren't able to participate in summer learning because of competition with work and athletics and just other family obligations. So we're listening to families and trying to look at creative ways to be supportive. Our commitment to you, trustees, and to our families and community is that we are trying very hard to eliminate all possible barriers. We've included transportation at all levels this year. We are ensuring that when kids come to school that we provide breakfast and lunch if they are staying for the full day. As I mentioned earlier, we're offering childcare at the end of the elementary program this year. So in every way we can possibly think, and if you have some suggestions for us, we would certainly welcome them, to eliminate whatever barrier may be out there that would prohibit or intrude upon a student taking advantage of these summer opportunities. And waiving tuition for algebra if a student has not successfully passed that course is another way we're eliminating barriers. So next steps. We will host a high school information meeting. We will host similarly a middle school information meeting. We will have an on-site counselor and media specialist librarian this year to support some of the new programmatic elements. We will continue to monitor success into the year, so we want to make sure that our students who are participating in summer school maintain that optimism, are appropriately situated for successful completion. And we are also very deliberately integrating our PSAT, SAT link to Khan Academy this year. Next year, we hope during the informational session with parents that we actually have stations so that we can demonstrate that linkage and some of the Khan Academy mini tutorials for parents. This year, we're embedding the linkage and the sort of exposure and introduction during the course sessions. For our English language learners, as you know, we have a summer academy at Scarlett Middle School for current grades 3 through 7. We always look forward to coming back in the fall and doing an overview of that program for you. That is, again, on an extension of one of our partnerships with the University of Michigan. We host a summer school program for English learners at Thurston, again for grades 3 through 5, and that particular program partners very closely with the Leslie Science Center and has a very specific, deliberate science theme. The camp runs from June 18th through the 29th. A similar EL program is hosted at Clegg for second language learners with a focus on reading, writing, speaking, and listening. We really try to sort of co-locate or bilocate many of these programs so that all of our students have access and aren't traveling across the district to take advantage. Some of our elementary schools that receive Title I funding host building-based summer school programs. We have a list here for you. And posted on our district website, we have a very comprehensive flyer that parents can access, and we've made hard copies of the same flyer. And I believe, trustees, you have copies of those flyers. But we have sent hard copies to our elementary buildings and our middle schools and our high schools, publicizing all of the summer events and opportunities. And we have translated many of these pieces of information and communication and the languages that what I would call the top 5 languages for students who speak a language, a primary language other than English. We want to wrap up with a couple testimonials from families. One of our parents took the time to write to us and said, "Thank you very much for this experience." This is from last summer. "My son has learned a lot in capital letters and really enjoyed it." Parentheses, which is kind of a miracle. That was a nice affirmation. "Please give our regards to the teachers." And again, another parent wrote to us and said, "Thank you for 2 wonderful weeks. My son enjoyed attending every day." And he commented that although his teachers were strict, it was the good kind of strict. And he saved his unfinished worksheets to work on for the rest of the summer after he finished the 2-week summer school or the SLI session. So trustees, once again, thank you very much for your continued support for our summer programming. And as Trustee Manley pointed out, and also Trustee Basquette, this isn't your grandfather's summer school. Pretty exciting stuff.
Truly awesome. And so, Ms. Dickinson-Kelly, if you could kind of remind the community, again, this is not anybody's summer school. This is our summer school, and you have spent a lot of time. But if you could remind the community the dollar amounts that we've invested in summer school.
Well, the budgetary line item is about $1 million. Now, some of that is offset by grants. We have, for instance, we submitted to the state of Michigan and received a $268,000 grant to support our SLI program. At the secondary level, we do collect tuition, even with all the waivers and opportunities we were talking about this evening. We do offset some of the cost with tuition collection. But we just budget very carefully. This is a priority of ours. And so when we take a look at our annual budget allocation and priorities, summer school is right up there. So, but it is a commitment. And it's a thoughtful commitment. And it's a commitment that, as trustees, you continue to support, and I am very grateful for that. So.
Well, we are too, again, for your educators and the rest of the team who helped put this together. As other trustees have commented, just the logistics of getting the food ordered and delivered and the transportation. I know that the staff learns from this as well, but you are, changing your lifestyle for at least part of the summer with your family. So I thank you. And again, thank you, the community. As you have already said, it's truly an investment. Our budget really shows the value that we have in our community and our children. So thank you for all the good work. Trustees, if there are no other questions, we'll just kind of end this session. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank
Have a
you,
good night,
trustees,
guys.
and thanks to this team. They're
Yes.
remarkable. So.
Absolutely.